Evening. First of all, can I be heard? And second of all, I hope you're not terribly frightened of my ugly mug, but that's just kind of how it had to be in the limited space that I have. So, number one, can I be heard? And by the way, I can see the chats. So, everybody's chats, everybody can participate. And excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Warhawk. I appreciate that. So I hope everybody's doing well today. For those of you who may have seen one of my posts that I made recently, I ran into some problems at the Houston Space Center, in Huntsville and at Cape Kennedy. Neither location had any problems whatsoever with me taking in a microphone or a tripod or anything like that. But it's just I don't understand, but here they refuse to allow me to have any of that stuff. So it kind of led me to believe that it was going to be very difficult to well, hello. Yeah, very, very glad to be joining joining up with you as well, Ridge Flyer. Sorry, the I've got the Houston sunglasses on, by the way. You'll notice I've got the little camouflage there, like a hunter that I'm definitely not. So anyway, so I am in Houston and I am trying to decide what to do. Um, what classes? However, I have gotten some cool stuff. They are definitely big on Mars. You probably can't see that very well, but a Mars coffee cup that I absolutely had to have. And at the same time, yeah, I that's true. I am too angry to be a good hunter. I'd just start shooting the moment I thought I saw something. And then right down here, you will see that Mars is definitely on the mind of NASA folks. They're really, really promoting the idea of going to Mars. The food bank needs help, says going ballistic. Something that's a good idea. I think I probably will make a contribution to the local food bank here. Thank you for bringing that up, because I think I have heard a couple of things over the radio. Just been beyond busy today, but in any event, the reason I decided to have this live stream is so that you guys can help me to decide what I'm going to be doing next. How am I going to be proceeding with my journey here in Texas? It certainly wasn't my intention to be arriving right at the tail end of a major disaster, but I should go to the Alpha. Boca, yes, somebody just mentioned Boca. Yes, Huntsville was very accommodating. They were really nice people, really, really nice people. What's my over under on SpaceX making it to the moon first? Will Blue Origin beat them? Blue Origin isn't going to beat anybody to the moon, unless for some reason NASA gives them a thumbs up on their lander. The one problem, as I've mentioned a number of times, with the Starship, as far as landing on the moon and taking off, is the amount of tanker refills that it's going to take in order to accomplish that. We're looking at maybe 10, something along those lines. Ooh, somebody in San Antonio. Well, hello. So anyway, with that many tanker refills, and it's because there's a lot of delta V required to get from LEO all the way down to the surface of the moon and then all the way back. And then they also need to get a human rating on the Starship, unless of course they use the Crew Dragon to bring people up to the Starship and then back down. So there are challenges to SpaceX getting to the moon first. Of course, there's huge challenges with NASA and the SLS getting there first as well. Wow, we have somebody who's actually in Houston. Well, hello. Very glad to see that I have a local around. Thank you very much for reaching out and saying hi. By the way, as far as our boy, we have over 200 people online right now. Thank you so much, especially since this is kind of a specific idea here. I do intend to go to Boca. I just need to decide how I'm going to balance all of this, because in theory, I could go to Boca and I could try to do the SLS green run. Maybe both of them. Both of them are within striking distance. Yes, I agree with you, Golden Adam. I think the weather is only going to get better. Yeah, extreme close up. So yeah, for those of you, there's somebody just asked what happened. Essentially, what happened is they didn't allow me to take any of my audio stuff or my tripod into the facility. So that was, very unfortunate. But at the same time, what are you going to do? That's their rules. So, however, sorry for getting arrested. Yeah, I got pretty hyped up because, as I said, I've been at Kennedy, I've been at Kid Kennedy, I've been in Huntsville, and they've been awesome. So, what's the big deal? What's the problem? But that was their problem. So in any event, I did get really angry, and they started getting sort of defiant in return. And I thought things might escalate. So I'm glad that they didn't. Let's put it that way. It's just trying to make some decisions as to how I'm going to proceed from there. May hear some hello from Istanbul. Wow, all the way in Istanbul. I know it's late at night there. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, it did make me very angry, incredibly angry. I was really, really hacked off. And it's just because I mean, if all NASA facilities had followed this, then I wouldn't care, but that's not the case. Oh, yes, we are almost to 50K. And by the way, oh, thank you for the super chat. Oh my God, thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. Obviously, this trip is far from free. So, I mean, it's my responsibility. This is what I do for a living, but at the same time, any help that I get is going to be greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for that. You're right. The camera is too close up. I agree with you there, but I don't have a choice. I have very limited facilities where I am right now in this hotel room. And so as a result, I mean, I've just got a little LED lighting right in front of me so you can see my face, that sort of thing. But that's about it. So anyway, that's just it, boy. And we've got 237 people online right now. Please please subscribe. If you aren't a subscriber, I would certainly love that. I do my best to provide the best quality. Another super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Shane of Canada. Thank you so much for that help. I'd really, really appreciate that. I just got to decide, when am I going to go to Boca? Am I thinking, like Monday, they're supposed to do their static fire from what I hear. They're supposed to be doing their static fire. Oh, and hello from Birmingham. And hello back to you. I've been to Birmingham. Love the UK. Sorry I get distracted here. All of these chats. It's something I don't get as much these days. And another super chat. Oh my God. Thank you, Kiwi. Thank you so much. And Warhawk, thank you so much. My God, these super chats coming in, really do appreciate it. Making all the difference in the world to me right now, let me tell you. And one of the major reasons right now is, all I'm going to say is, the fickle nature of monetization has caused me some difficulties at the worst possible time. When I decided to come down here and spend some money, all of a sudden YouTube yanks the rug out from under you. But they do that. Not much I can do about that. Oh, and €5 49. Thank you so much. How many people do I think will live on Mars by 2050? Boy, that's a tough question. I would say, I'd say there's a decent chance of a few thousand. If everything goes right, if everything goes perfectly. Ricker, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, thank you so much. So yeah, if everything were to go right, the Starship is certainly capable of transporting that many people. It's really not that difficult. So I think that it's certainly doable. Just got a hello from Denmark. Hello back. Andy in Colorado, my home state. Thank you so much for the super chat. And you're welcome for the videos. I'm going to keep these things piling on. And by the way, something that I'm just going to share with you guys, although it's probably going to spread around. But while I was at the Space Center, there was a talk given by an astronaut, and there were several people who were filming her on their smartphones, not with tripods or anything, but they were filming her. So I was just like, what the hell? So I filmed her too. It's been such a rough day. I should know immediately who she is. She has an immense experience. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, by the way, from Larry. But she has immense experience yeah, with the space shuttle, with a lot of missions under her belt. She had a lot to talk about, and I got just about all of it. And the quality of the audio, even over my cell phone, still worked. Thank you so much, Chris. Really do appreciate that. £5. Really do appreciate that super chat as well. Boy, you guys are making all the difference in the world. So yeah, I got to go to Boca. From what I understand, the static fires on Monday. Anybody hearing anything different about that? Anybody hearing anything like it's going to be a different day? Otherwise, I need to make sure that I get there. Weird to hear a Yank say quit. I've been to the UK 8 times. I spent a lot of my life there, and as a result, I do tend to use a lot of the slang and verbiage and that sort of thing. So what can you do? Well, hello back from Steampunk Man in Canada. Nice to have you on board. Wow, so many folks. Yes. Wow. So on Monday, there's supposed to be some video from Mars, apparently. Very cool. I can't wait to hear Mars, to be honest. The audio that we're supposed to be getting, wow, that's going to be utterly fantastic. I can't wait for that. Oh, wow. Another super chat, another £5. Thank you so much. How negative an impact do I think the recent Falcon 9, the failure? I don't think it's going to be very much. Wow, another super chat. Thank you so much, BJ Toron, I believe. So I don't think that one misfire on the Falcon 9 booster is going to be that bad at all. I think it's going to, you got to expect it. Space is hard. Technology fails. That's just the nature of it. So occasionally you're going to have some problems. So in any event, that's quite all right. Anton's world, no problem at all. Just a like, and I'll be a happy person. So yeah, I don't think that one Falcon 9 booster falling into the ocean is really that big of a deal. Collaboration with Everyday Astronaut. I don't think that Tim honestly would be interested in a collaboration. Not that he's a jerk or anything. I think that he's one of my favorite guys in the world. But the thing of it is, the way I do things, my obnoxious approach to space policy, I think in some ways could hurt him. I think it could be injurious to his channel because, I mean, Boeing invites him to go see the Starliner, try on their spacesuits, that sort of thing. And if he collaborates with a guy who slams on Boeing as much as I do, it would just be damaging to his channel. So I don't think a collaboration with Everyday Astronaut would be all that great. To the future, they don't give a damn. They don't care who they piss off. And so as a result, that's why that was a collaboration that made sense. But I think that there will be some other ones as well. Okay. Wow. So Scott Manley tweeted out the sounds of Mars. Did he now? Well, I'm going to have to go over to his channel. Scott Manley apparently has, and it ain't that, Oh, whoever that guy is, that English guy whose song always ends up when you're getting punked. It isn't that one, right? Not that not that Mars sound. Well, if that's the case, I'd be very, very interested. Yeah, maybe a guest commentator on NASA spaceflight. Thank you so much for the 10 euros. Really do appreciate on that one. And yes, I will keep up the work that I'm doing right now. Thank you so very much indeed. Okay, so let's see here. We've got some people commenting on the other side. Wow, this is crazy. Might reach 50K during the live stream. This is Opolis, by the way, been with me since about 10K. Be with me to 1 million. Dear Lord, I can't imagine what 1 million would be like. So thank you very much. Oh, the audio was from 2019, not from Perseverance. So it's the Curiosity, I'm assuming, because I know it had some primitive audio capabilities on it, or was it from one of the other rovers? Anyway, I still love it. I think that that the little bit I have heard of Mars is just this haunting, moaning kind of sound that the of the wind. I think this is going to be a really cool thing. Over 300 people watching. Thank you guys. Please like, please subscribe. And wow, we've got a lot of support on the super chat front as well for this trip that I'm taking here. So yeah, Boca. And what do people think about the green run? I'm thinking about taking another shot at it. But it all depends. If the green run is going to be falling at roughly the same time as they're going to be launching SN10, then there's no damn way that I am going to be going to Mississippi under those circumstances. Anton, you subbed at about 10K as well. Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate everybody who just subbed yesterday or who have subbed and have been with me for a long time. Like I say, the amount of support I've got right now is beyond all belief. Really can't believe it. So, wow, thank you so much for the £5, Dale. I really do appreciate it. Try to get some shades for what? Oh, dear, let I can't see it. Some shades from the series V. Which one? There were two of them. Both of which had really gorgeous aliens. Okay, let's see. They will send at least 60 people on the first trip to Mars. No sense in having luxury, says Plastic Mug. Hey, could be. Why not? A large group may indeed be more successful. Carrie Ann, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. And let's see, we got a five euros from Sergusi, I guess. Hello. Oh, first time on the live stream, but welcome. It doesn't usually look like this. Usually I don't have my face so close to the camera. But in any event, I think before getting on Mars, we have to have a fully working fuel station on the moon first. Absolutely correct. We need to have the moon producing fuel and at least sending that fuel to fuel depots in LEO or in cislunar space, one of the two, so that we can get a tremendous amount of fuel loaded up in the starships without a ton of tanker refills. All those tanker refills really make things a pain. And doing things with a fuel depot or with a lot of fuel being transported from the moon makes a ton of sense. And so the moon to Mars approach definitely works out. Perpetual nuclear to Mars rotation. That's an interesting idea too. The Mars cycler, courtesy of Buzz Aldrin, except done with nuclear. I like the idea. I like it very much. My favorite Mars movie from M2 is gotta be The Martian. It's gotta be The Martian. That one was just so relatively realistic, not realistic on the dust storm thing. The dust storm certainly would have caused problems, but it wouldn't have caused that kind of damage at all. And also the gravity would have looked different. Matt Damon would have been walking differently on the surface of Mars than he did in the movie, but still, those are minor, trivial things for the most part. It was a fantastic movie. Red Planet, yes, good book. Good series of books, actually. I do like those as well. Card details and such in. Okay, let's see. Mars Attacks is pretty good too. Yes, I enjoyed the hell out of Mars Attacks. I actually saw that in the theater, believe it or not. Streaming SN10 would be better for the channel. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It would be, assuming I can make it happen, assuming that they're going to be launching SN10. Do I think having an emergency system on the side of the Starship, similar to the Crew Dragon, would be implemented redundancy? Here's the thing. I don't see Starship being able to have an escape system. It just doesn't seem possible to me. If you can see a way from an engineering standpoint to do it, that would be great. But that's a lot of people you're trying to rescue at the same time. As a matter of fact, I got to see a lot of people say that the shuttle didn't have ejection seats. The initial design actually did. And I got to see that at the Houston Space Center. They had ejection seats for the pilot and the commander only. That's it. So as a result, they were looking at only 2 people surviving. And then they thought again and said that just leads to people, living the rest of their lives with a tremendous sense of guilt. So they killed the idea of the ejection seat. So anyway, bear with me for just 1 second. Went and dropped something. Okay. All right, let's see. 50 Sci-Fi, The Conquest of Space. The first 2 launches had ejector seats. Did they indeed? Okay, thank you very much, Rocket Launcher. I appreciate you putting that in. I just know that I saw it and that they did have them in the initial stages, and they got rid of them just because saving 2 people out of 7 didn't work out. For all mankind, I don't have Apple TV. I need to get Apple TV. Okay, let's have a look here. Leon, hello, Leon. Tesla 128. These are from my Patreon folks. Moon making hydrogen fuel, though. Starship is methane. The moon will also make liquid oxygen, and the vast majority of Methalox fuel is liquid oxygen, in which case you only have to worry about the methane part. Now, the methane theoretically could be mined from asteroids. Survivor guilt. Yeah, that's right about the ejector seats. But to get back to the fuel, that could be done by getting it from asteroids. If you can get carbon and hydrogen, then you can use a process called Sabatier or Sabatier or whatever in order to make methane, but that would have to be done on asteroids unless we find large amounts of carbon on the moon, which thus far we have not. Okay, we got to keep going. Please like, please subscribe. We've got so yeah, I hear that For All Mankind is fantastic. I would love that. Well, I go to Wallops with the Electron launches. I would like to go to New Zealand to see something like that, but that's an expensive endeavor. I think what's more likely is the UK, perhaps, with some of the launches that they're going to be doing there. That seems a bit more likely, but we'll see. We'll see. But yes, Tesla 128, you bring up a very good point. The fact that they're making hydrogen fuel on the moon and oxygen means that the second stage of the Vulcan Centaur, that's a hydrogen engine, and it can actually be refueled with in situ fuel entirely, 100% manufactured on the moon. That does give the Vulcan one particular leg up when it comes to flying to the moon and back, at least as far as its second stage is concerned. And I've talked about that a few times in my videos about the second stage of the Vulcan Centaur acting as a fuel tug, that sort of thing. We'll see. The Vulcan hasn't even launched yet. It's supposed to go this year. We'll see how that goes. Come to New Zealand. My God, I would love to. My God, I would love to. I'll tell you. One of the most beautiful countries on the planet, from what I understand. Oh, another super chat. Thank you so much. Contribution for better explosives on my next cup. Yes, that was supposed to be FAA, and I'm still thinking maybe, but maybe Blue Origin instead. I don't know. I'd like to see some votes here, actually. Should I blow up an FAA thing, or should I blow up a Blue Origin thing? Because I don't know. I mean, my Blue Origin dislike has gone on for a lot longer. My hate relationship with that company's gone on for quite some time. Should it be Blue Origin? I'd like to see the votes actually come up here on the channel. Should it be Blue Origin or should it be FAA? Blue Origin FAA is already streamlining their process. Good point. Good point. They're already doing something to fix it. So, yep, another Blue Origin. There's an FAA. Why not both? Maybe I will do both. Blue Origin again. So yeah, we're definitely getting to see that. The Swedish Space Center. Oh God, yes, I would. Sweden. I'd love to go to Scandinavia in general. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, all those places. I would love to go there. Never have. As I say, I've been to the UK many, many times. I've been to Ireland. I've been to France, and that's about it when it comes to my European experiences. Blue Origin, Jeff, who Blue Origin. Boy, we're getting lots and lots of votes to blow up Blue Origin. But there's an FAA from M2. So what are you doing? It's interesting. Maybe I will blow up both. Very interesting indeed. Okay. Quick side question: do I think NASA will extend the 90s Ingenuity, 92nd Ingenuity helicopter if it works successfully during those planned flights? Yes, I think they will use it as much as they possibly can until the thing breaks. And I love the little and hello, Captain. We got somebody from Norway. How about that? So yeah, it's I would say that they're just going to push that thing until it breaks would be my guess with the Ingenuity. The fact that it can only fly for 90 seconds though, that bothers me a little bit. It makes me wonder about the practicality of it, the huge number of RPMs that you need just to get a tiny amount of cargo aloft. I mean, the thing requires so much more than a drone does here on Earth. I'm just a bigger fan of a dirigible of some kind or a balloon with a vacuum interior or maybe hydrogen or something super light. Hello from Iceland. Hello indeed. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's Reykjavik or wherever, but you live in a very cold place from what I understand from people who have gone there. Beautiful place though. All the volcanoes and everything like that from what I understand. A gorgeous spot. Would love that indeed. Why a helicopter, not a plane on Mars, which is better? Like I say, there's a lot of things that we could have done that would have been better on Mars, I think, than some of the experiments that we did. Now, there's a lot on Perseverance that is very good, but I think there's other things that we could have done. For example, and I know I keep repeating myself on this. I wish we had put it down in the Valles Marineris. We demonstrated just how precisely we can land now with the new systems that we have at our disposal. We are so good at precision landing, as in NASA on Mars. They're so stinking good. Then why didn't we put it down in the Valles Marineris, where we keep talking about it. Everybody says, oh, this amazing Grand Canyon of Mars that can go all the way from New York to San Francisco. Great. There's our orbital views of it. Why don't we go there? It's one of the most magnificent, fantastic places in the solar system. Why don't we go there? And it was actually proposed on this particular mission. It was one of the finalists, and then they got rid of it. They just didn't want to take the chance. They really weren't confident enough. Again, as Carl Sagan said, and I said this in a tweet I sent out recently, perhaps we were too cautious. And I think we were. Again, we just have a tendency to be too cautious. And I think we were too cautious again. I think we should have sat down in the Valles Marineris, and the geological opportunities would have been fantastic. It would have been warmer there than it is in the Bezos crater. What am I saying? Bezos crater. My God, the Jezero crater. Bezos. I can't believe it. That even snuck into my head. The Jezero crater. It would have been warmer there. And we would have had views that would have blown people's minds, canyon walls that go up 8,000 meters. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, that got a lot of laughs, didn't it? The Bezos crater. I'm sure he'll get one named after him at some point. I'm sure he'll make a contribution somewhere. Anyway, but I am serious. The Valles Marineris would have been better in a lot of ways. Okay, getting back here. Most of the energy goes to heating during Mars cold nights, so a newer version could probably extend the flight time. That's a good point. I wish and that was from Leon Tesla 128. I wish that some like the helicopter and Moxie could have been part of the sky crane. Moxie especially doesn't need to be mobile. Very true. Very true. We could have just landed the sky crane, not wasted it. And that would have been great. And Leon, fair enough. Guess they had to put them onto the rover to not make some too many new changes to the whole flight hardware. Yeah, that would have cost some money to change the sky crane. But there's been a lot of frustration talked about with wasting the sky crane, losing the sky crane. So yeah. It's kind of nice to to consider perhaps using it, getting some reusability. Sky Crane as a platform could have had generators or solar panels. Jeff plus 0 equals Jezero. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. That's a great that should be a meme of some kind. We should figure out how to make a meme out of that. Danny, my God, one of my oldest friends, has just thrown a super chat on there for me. Thank you, Danny. That's very nice of you. I really do appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Gary Atana, do I have a spotting scope? A spotting scope for the launches. Not on me. Not for this particular trip. However, I do have a very, very good zoom function on my camera that provides really good quality images at extreme range, just as long as I get it focused in the right place. So, Chris, thank you. I'm in Houston. I have a friend who works in NASA. Well, you know something? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. If you do, have them contact me if there's any way that I can get to the Johnson Space Center itself, to in there, because that's where they have the mock-ups for the Dynetics lander. I asked Kathy, my contact at Dynetics, and she said it's not doable because of COVID. But man, I would love to get in there and have a look at that mock-up. If there's any way I could, that would be a fantastic thing. I'd love to live stream from there. And thanks for all the super chats, by the way, guys. Man, this is making all the difference in the world to my ability to, to do these sorts of things as I'm doing right now. Tons of people watching. Once again, like, subscribe, and thanks for showing up. Okay, over here again, Synatogen, interesting to hear the small helicopter flight duration is 90 seconds. It takes a lot longer to recharge before its next flight. Yeah, I would think so. It's a proof of concept. Yeah, it's not supposed to do anything useful until version 6. Leon says, yes, it does. Most of the energy is stored for the night to keep it warm. It's just a very small test flight. So yeah, it is just proof of concept. But at the same time, is this really, the proof of concept that we needed? I just don't know. Do I think the Blue Origin New Glenn will have very few contracts if Starship comes online? Yes, I do. I think that New Glenn is going to be in deep trouble. I think Vulcan is better set up, not because it's a better rocket, but because ULA is going to launch it before the New Glenn launches. Vulcan will launch in 2021. Most probably, the New Glenn will not launch until 2022. And Vulcan, or rather ULA, already has 60% of the of that military contract. So I think, or those military contracts. So I think that's going to help them. Another question about what happened in Houston. Once again, a quick review. They just didn't let me take in any of my audio stuff, which was unique. I had, two other. I had Cape Kennedy and in Huntsville, the facility in Huntsville that did allow me to take all this stuff in, but sadly, it didn't work out. That's a good point about the solar panels won't work in canyons. The one thing though is that Perseverance is not powered by solar panels, not for the most part. It's nuclear powered, so more of nuclear. Not a nuclear reactor, but nevertheless, nuclear deterioration, etc. The deterioration of nuclear fuel providing the energy. It's like the Curiosity. It doesn't use solar panels because solar panels proved to be such a problem with previous rovers. But keeping it going. Geez, I'm falling behind on all these chats here. Do I agree that the Starship is like a mix between the Saturn V and the shuttle? Yes, I do agree with that. I think it is a lot like that. The one difference is that the one difference is that the Starship is more reusable. It doesn't have the same amount of money that needs to be invested in order to make these things reusable. So in any event, well, Danny, I'm glad that you're enjoying yourselves. Thanks again so much. Once again, Danny was my boss one time in a previous job that I had. Really good guy. I've known him for 25 years, something like that. So anyway, okay. Let's see. So we got a lot of folks showing up a little bit late. Once again, thanks very much, everybody. The Jezero crater was chosen with the view to search for stramolite-like formations. Like I said, I'm sure the geology there is intriguing. I'm sure it's fascinating. But like the Grand Canyon, I can't imagine that the geology in the Valles Marineris was inferior. I'm sure there's something a lot there that we could have learned about Mars past and everything that we are trying to learn at the Jezero crater that we could have done in the Valles Marineris, and then some. I just plus just to capture the public's imagination by showing, okay, here's another essentially plain of red sand, or we could show them cliffs that go up higher than anything we've ever imagined before. Something, a sight unlike anything that humans have ever laid eyes on. We could show them that if the lander had set down even a couple kilometers away from the valley walls, it still would have looked amazing. It would have looked stunning beyond belief. Having lived within about 10 miles or so, 10 kilometers easy of the Rocky Mountains. It's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And that's about 4,000 meters, 4,500 meters. And instead you're looking at 8,000 meters. It just would have been amazing. But anyway, something else. Definitely, the Vulcan already has 6 ISS cargo Dream Chaser mission contracts, says Leon. Yeah, the Vulcan has a number of contracts set up for it already. And also, if Dynetics wins the contract, the Vulcan is set up to carry it as well. They're not relying on the SLS. I got this straight from Dynetics when I interviewed them. By the way, if anybody has not seen my interview with Kathy Lorini, who is Human Landing Services Manager at Dynetics, please look it up because it is a fantastic interview. Kathy really knows her stuff. She is a NASA veteran with decades and decades of experience, and they have an amazing piece of equipment that I frankly hope ends up on its way to the moon. I hope the Lunar Starship goes too, just in a different capacity. The Chinese mission is way more innovative innovative than Mars 2020. I made a video about that actually. I'm thinking that the Chinese have the potential of discovering some stuff that we don't. We as in NASA in the United States. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the solar panels won't work in Kansas. Little helicopter won't recharge. Yeah, that would be a problem. You're right about that. That is a serious problem. Of course, the helicopter would be a great thing to see if you could, of course, one thing you need to remember is that the Valles Marineris is colossal in terms of its width. It's as big at the area that they were thinking of landing is as wide as the Los Angeles basin, actually wider. So there is a long stretch of time where the sun is actually overhead in the Valles Marineris. So it isn't like the Grand Canyon or anything like that in terms of the narrowness of the canyons. There are parts of the Valles Marineris that are that narrow, but not the area that they were thinking. That was much, much wider, and you would only have been able to see one side of the valley, and all of the cliffs and everything behind you would have been a lot different. You might have been able to see it beyond the curvature of the planet. Not too sure. Keeping my throat from going dry here. How's the weather over there? The weather is just fine. It's a little breezy, as you'll see in my video. I have put together stuff. Actually got enough content for a couple of videos at the Houston facility. And you know what? For videos, I just held my hands super steady. As I said, I even recorded an entire speech from a NASA astronaut, which went on for about 45 minutes, and I kept my hand, I think, pretty doggone steady through it. And I wasn't the only one recording her. I wasn't going to record her at first because I thought it would be against the rules with all the BS they put me through to begin with. But there were tons of people recording her, so I was like, okay, I'll record her too. So I intend to share all of that with you guys. Do I think anybody could intercept return Mars data, intercept the materials that we send back? Yeah, that's possible. Sure, if somebody set it up right. They could parallel the course of the return materials and steal it or something. It would be a tough thing. Okay. Apopolis says, speaking of interview with Dynetics, would it change my opinion of Blue Origin or Boeing if they reached out to me for an interview? I would be shocked if they reached out to me for an interview with all the stuff I've said about them lately. You know, it might change my view if they could actually somehow convince me that they've got a workable solution on that lander of theirs, or if Boeing, could give me give me some hope that they're working towards reusability and moving away from waste on their SLS, and everything else that they've been designing. But you know what? I don't see how they could. I really don't see what argument they could give me. They have nothing in the hopper right now. Blue Origin, I was hoping they released some new information about their lander when SN8 went up. It was the same day, actually. It was almost like they were trying to steal some of SpaceX's thunder when they released this information. And so I thought, well, maybe they did something to their lander to make it more competitive. Maybe they made it to where the Cygnus cargo transfer element of it would be reusable. Nope, nothing. Maybe they have something set up on the ladder to make it safer. Nope. No, like a bat pole or something to pull you up or something along, something to make it safer or, just less of a risk to our astronauts. Nope, nothing. And I was angry as hell. I really was. And that's actually my most popular video. I got 300,000 views on it because it really did make me angry. It's just like, do you guys really think that it's, acceptable to put our astronauts in that kind of jeopardy, that it's just okay that you're going to win anyway because you've got this good old boys network set up with these partners that you've made? No. That's not acceptable. So I'd ask some tough questions. Let me tell you, I would. And I'd say they'd probably hang up on me, would be my guess. So anyway, what can you say? Oh wow, another super chat. Thank you so much, Alex Emmerich. What do I think of this? Boy, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not even going to say this guy's name, but you guys can see it there on the chat as to what I think of him, and I despise him. I really do. Not necessarily because he's wrong. I think the guy knows his science, but at the same time, I think that the way that he's treated some very nice people in this community is despicable. So that's my opinion as far as that's concerned. Can't stand the guy. So there you go. Plastic Pinocchio, thank you so much for the 10, almost 11 euros. I don't get the excitement around the Hope. It's an American probe launched by Japanese rocket and Emiratis. You know, that's I've covered the Hope a lot. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for that. Dear, I need it. But it's actually the Emiratis were involved with the vast majority of the construction and design of it. I know this just because my alma mater provided most of the scientific consultation work on it, the University of Colorado. They provided most of the help on that, but they didn't make it. They didn't design it. The Emiratis did. So they really, really did have a I really think that they accomplished a lot, for that's just my opinion. A small Middle Eastern country accomplishing that. And I think they've set a very good example for everybody else in the Middle East to follow, that's what, we should be doing in the Middle East is exploring space, not the other stuff that's going on. Okay, let's see here. Bacteria discovered by Vikings out of the question. Yeah, that is true. Do we really, there's, we found, both the Viking experiments came up positive. Why do we think that life is not widespread on Mars, given the results of those experiments? And given the fact that Opportunity, which was not designed to find life, has detected organic molecules and methane in unusual quantities, I think we could find life in lots of places on Mars if we just look for it. If we just send, and you know what, Dr. Levin, who did the experiments from 1976, I interviewed him too, by the way. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. My interview with Dr. Levin. He proposed many alternative experiments to go on Martian rovers to improve his detection system, improve his experiment to really prove that life is there, and it was turned down every time. The Russians gave him the thumbs up in the 1990s, but then the State Department called the Russian embassy and said, you're not going to do it because it's proprietary technology. It's just a simple experiment to find bacteria in drinking water. That's not proprietary at all. But the Russians let him sneak the experiment onto the probe anyway, and then it crashed. It didn't make it. If it had, history might have been very, very different. And I am so sad about that. But check out my interview with Dr. Levin about the Viking expedition. It's some pretty compelling evidence that there's life, widespread life on Mars. And I'm not talking about, things that we can see. I'm talking about microbial life, and that's what Dr. Levin is talking about too. But still, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it's definitely there. The majority of New Glenn launches will be the Amazon Internet constellation. Yeah, I'd say there's a good chance that they're going to use it for that, try to be competitive. But they're going to have to get it in orbit, that's for sure. Can we talk about how nice it is to be able to talk on a space channel live chat since it's slow enough? Yeah, it is nice to be able to talk. And like I say, it's one of the reasons why I'm so close to the screen, so I can see what you guys are sending to me. Nothing bad has ever happened to Blimps. Yeah, the Hindenburg. That is one thing. However, the Hindenburg there were a lot of successful flights of hydrogen powered blimps for Zeppelins for the longest period of time without an accident. And what caused the destruction of the Hindenburg is still under debate. As to they think it was a lightning blast that hit the Zeppelin that might have destroyed it, no matter what it was using. So I watched a program on that. It's still a topic for debate, actually, as to why the Hindenburg went up in flames. But we wouldn't have to use hydrogen on Mars, obviously. A vacuum. There is actually a proof of concept, and you can look it up. It's on one of my videos, one of my most recent videos about Perseverance, that shows the Martian blimp concept using vacuum as its method of getting around. Okay, how many robots are on Mars? We have a lot. A lot of them are inactive at this point. So let's see. We've got Opportunity. We've got Curiosity. We now have Perseverance. We have the one taking its temperature. So there's 4, and for some reason I'm forgetting his name. There's 4 right there, and then we have all the orbiters as well. We have a minimum of 2, 3, 4 orbiters. I'd say 8 robots overall. I don't know. Somebody else might be able to add it all up, but we have a lot on Mars, that's for sure. Way more than we have on the moon. How strange is that? We have so much more of a presence on Mars than we have on the moon. It's the strangest thing. Over 300 people still watching. Thanks, guys. Please like, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Over $100 in super chats. Thank you so much, people. Tell you, it's a big help to me right now. Doing what I'm doing. So let's see here. I can handle a camera. Well, I think I can handle a camera. I'll leave that up to you guys. Turns out when you yeah, I would agree with you there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're talking about a certain guy still again. So we'll see what the once again, I'm not going to mention his name just because I don't like giving anybody any more publicity than they already need. But we can see it in the chat as to who we're talking about. On the dotted line of Mexico and New Mexico, hello. Things froze for 2 days. Yeah, it was bad, very bad. Here actually in Houston at the hotel I've been at, there's still a boil water advisory in effect. When living off of bottled water here at the hotel. I don't know if that's still the case, but we'll see what that situation, how that develops. Okay. All right, and yes, indeed, I will keep up the good work. All right, so I keep checking back and forth. I will try to keep the angle of my face way further down. I see your point. I definitely see your point. I think inside seismic sensors would have detected the crash of the descent stage after it dropped the rover off. Sarah Jane, I think they were listening for it. I do believe that Insight was actually listening for that happening. So I'm not certain if that is indeed the case or not. Be the 50,000 subscriber. I do have some merch coming out, by the way, for 50K. You guys might like it. It's definitely something that is angry astronaut friendly. Do I think Rocket Lab should be worried about SpaceX ride share? I think Rocket Lab should be more concerned about Virgin Orbit. Rocket Lab's advantage has always been, if you're going to do ride share on a Falcon 9, that means you need to be in roughly the same orbit as their primary payload. Otherwise, your satellites aren't going where you want them to go. Whereas we're going to put your satellite where you want it. And they can do it fairly inexpensively. So ride share works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on the circumstance. I think there's enough business, definitely, for Rocket Lab and Virgin Orbit, actually. All right, let's see here. Yeah, if Jeff Bezos had the idea of taking industry into space, then why is he so fantastically interested in non-reusability? Good Question. Very good question. One of the many things that annoys the heck out of me when it comes to this guy. I'll tell you. Yeah, it's yeah, then we went back to that fellow again. Hydrogen blimp would work on Mars. Yes, it would be. What would the dangers be without any oxygen to go boom? You're right. There wouldn't be. Not much. I mean, it's a perfectly good solution. I really think we should have brought up a little bitty balloon of some kind as a proof of concept and try to make that work rather than a helicopter, trying desperately to overcome how thin the atmosphere is. I think that would have been it just makes it a lot more challenging. Take a swim in the Boca Chica Bay. Okay, so we'll see here. Some of us would take more chances than others. Who can't the AA stand? Well, I'll tell you who I can't stand. Oh, I'm not sure who that was. I'm not gonna spell out who that was if we're talking about an individual person. I just don't. It's an individual on YouTube, and I don't like talking about people. And it has been discussed a number of times by other people chatting here. Do I happen to have italics on? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was somebody else. Never mind. Okay, let's see. Perseverance, it said, may periodically drop core drilling samples for its life studies along its trail. Does it make any sense to you? Do you think the integrity of the samples in harsh Martian environment, a loss of storms a concern? Test results now contingent on full-up duplicate Mars mission. Yeah, I think the whole sample return concept is flawed. It's really flawed. We've gotten we have no design right now, no design for a ship to go and retrieve these samples. We have no congressional money approved for it. So when are we going to go get those samples? And are they going to be in perfect shape, when we get them, to where we're still going to be convinced, to where people aren't going to say, okay, well, maybe these are viable, but maybe not. I'm just I don't like the sample return concept, unless we had another ship that arrived there at the same time, another rover that kind of went along with them, and then was designed to send the samples back the moment that they got them gathered. That would be the only way that I would have supported this idea. So anyway, so it sounds like everybody wants me to go to Boca. First of all, that was one of my main reasons for talking about this. Should I stay in Boca, long enough to see whether or not SN10 is going to go in the time frame that I have? Should I talk to people, get their impression? And by the way, if anybody knows anybody there, it would be really helpful to me. I would really like to find somebody to help show me around a little bit. I'm sure I can figure it out, but still somebody who either is down there a lot or somebody who is from there, that sort of thing. That would be a really positive thing. Oh boy, dry throat. Okay, we still have more people typing, and let's have a look at some more ULA snipers. Okay, let's see here. Okay. What do I think about the mission to Europa? Love it. I love the Europa Clipper. The one thing that bothers me about it is the fact that Europa Clipper, whatever knowledge it gathers, the instruments on it are not designed to definitively prove if life exists based on the demands that we put on this. We have these ridiculous, demands that exobiologists have set on whether or not life is there. So, the Clipper, is it going to find it? Will it have the instruments necessary to find what we need? I don't know. I got my doubts. So yeah, that is one thing that's a bit of a bummer, but still, love the idea. Love the idea. Evidence of running water on Mars, almost positive microbial life existed at one time. I would say microbial life exists now, and I think there's running water there now as well. I read an article about how perchlorates and the other elements that we think are in the Martian regolith would bring the melting point of water down to 80 degrees below 0 Celsius, which is why we see those streaks of water, or what appear to be streaks of water, coming down the side of canyon walls, mostly in the Valles Marineris, by the way. And so with liquid water, especially if this is subsurface liquid water that stays in that, the saline solution, essentially with perchlorates in it, that really does make a difference. So I wish we were looking for it. I wish we were doing it. Yeah, there's if we had only gone to where those things were to definitively prove what the problem was. Aluminum paint was part of the trouble with Hindenburg. Yeah, there were a lot of issues with the Hindenburg, I do believe. Okay, let's see. Carrie Ann is saying goodbye. Goodbye, Carrie Ann. Thank you so much for paying me a visit. I really do appreciate it. If you're going to call respected engineers dishonest and thieves, you better not be wrong, says Patriot. And talking about this person that we've talked about, and I couldn't agree with you more, Patriot. You are 100% right. First man in space as a kid. First man on the moon. Yeah, we need to see a lot of stuff in our lifetimes, and I really wish it would happen. And yeah, I think that there would be a lot of things that we could do with a Mars Zeppelin. We keep bringing that up as well. That would be some very cool stuff. No oxy on Mars to make it go boom. Yeah, once again, I think it's a really good idea, and I wish we had sent a proof of concept. I really do. Anyway, okay, let's see here. Still going. Do I still have the angry stickers on the wall? Yes, I do. I didn't take those down, Simon. I have no idea how far behind I am. Thank you, everybody, for watching, by the way. I got some kind of super chat of some kind. Okay. Make a point not to leave Boca Chica coast before taking a cool dip in the Gulf. Well, yes, I will definitely find an opportunity to do that, just so people can see my pale zombie-like body. Let's see, our pale bloated body, depending on how you look at it. Sarah Jane, thank you so much. Yeah, I do my best. I would. Yeah, if there's anything that I try not to be, it's a sycophant. I really don't want to be that kind of person. I just to praise people because they're doing something in space. I want to praise people because they're doing something right in space. That's what makes the most difference to me. Join Light say that the Falcon Heavy could put Dynetics on the moon. No, it could not actually, because the fairing size isn't big enough. If they come up with a new fairing, then maybe. But right now, the Vulcan has the fairing size to put the Dynetics lander there. The Starship, the Lunar Starship, could do it quite easily. So we'll see what ends up happening there. If you go to bed early in the summer, it's too hot to sleep at the system. Okay. Let's see. Somebody else saying that they think my channel is funny. I do appreciate it. Thoughts on the Dragonfly mission on Titan. Love it, Aiden. I love that concept. I really hope that we end up doing something with it. I would like that a lot. So it's, we need to explore Titan. We need to have something mobile that explores Titan. I would love the idea a lot. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Why not land a lot of microbots on Mars with cameras instead of a massive rover? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all, especially with the micro technology that we have. I like that plastic mug. Okay, boy, I'm just zooming through these chats, but still, there's so many of them. Somebody just asked TS AIM, I think. No, I didn't think I'd hit 50,000, especially not in this amount of time. It's only a little over a year. How is that possible? it doesn't seem possible. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting my channel. My God, I could not be more more happy about this. By the way, guys, we have over 300 people watching. Like, subscribe, please, if you can. Yeah, this camera angle, it is nutty. It's just the way my phone is set up. It has a little brace on it, and that's kind of how I have that. I do have a merch store. Yes, somebody mentioned that. How about SpaceX collecting up decommissioned satellites to slow drop off to the moon to recycle? Not a bad idea. I mean, they're talking about cleaning up space junk anyway. So I think that would be a good thing. Do I think India will realistically have its first manned launch in 2022? Yeah, I think they'll make it. I think that they've been making great strides lately. So I think that it is entirely possible. Okay, let's see here. Kyle Sweet, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Okay, let's see. We got some more people coming off. So see ya, Cougar Man. I know you've probably gone a while ago, but I do appreciate it. Buy a flat next to the everyday astronaut. Yes, he's well set up, definitely. He's covering things very well out there, and I definitely need to say hi to Tim, if nothing else. Okay, have the folks see me after a great tour guide, says Warhawk. Definitely. Warhawk's a very supportive guy in general anyway. He's such a huge asset to this channel. Really do appreciate your help, Warlock. Warhawk, rather, not Warlock. Okay, let's see. Dropping samples along path was a dumb idea. Yeah, I agree. It is a dumb idea. Okay, let's see. Back over to here. Do I see the proposed method of refueling Starship changing over the next 4 years? A new and better way of get to fuel and get to Mars? Tough question. Is it more about whether they're set up of applying the technology they're talked about, or could they adapt to something new? I think that they should try to adapt to something new. I think that a one fuel depot with all of the fuel that it needs is easier than tons and tons of tanker refills. I've always felt that way, so we'll see. We'll see if that's something that actually ends up happening. Do I think for the SpaceX first mission would actually be taking a bunch of satellites of different companies in the same fashion as Falcon 9 does? I would say their first, if you're saying the Starship, the first mission that they do would be, wow, Wayne Slater. Holy majoli. Thank you, Wayne. I know this has been on here for a while because I saw the super chats jump, but wow, thank you, Wayne. Ugh, very generous super chat there. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. So no, I think it's going to be Starlink. I think they're going to send up a ton of Starlinks with the first serious Starship mission. I think that would be, unless Starlink is fully deployed already, which I doubt. I think that they really, really need to do that. Elon is sending humans to Mars in 2024. No need to wait for a sample. Yeah, and that scares me a little bit because we don't know enough about the bacteria that's there. We're kind of putting people in harm's way. So see if Mary, yeah, I have sent a message to Mary actually. So I hope that I'm able to see one of the locals. There's a new cafe there. Well, I'll definitely have a coffee. No question with that. Let's see. Just want to make sure I'm covering everything here. If 3 Raptors can damage concrete under the launch mount, what will 28 on the heavy booster do? It's going to blow the crap out of things. I think that they're really going to have to be very serious, Sarah Jane, about what they do with the super heavy. Its capabilities are going to be insane, and honestly, I think they need to launch it at sea. It's well, for one thing, they haven't done the water sound suppression and things like they do with a lot of the heavy rocket launches. But still, yeah, there's a lot that needs to be done. We have some folks leaving, but thanks so much for coming by. I am over an hour, but I was planning on staying on a little bit later tonight, just to say hi and just to say thank you and making sure that I've got everything down. So I will be heading to Boca, and then it's kind of anybody's guess at that point. It really depends on how likely SN10 looks in the next few days. If it's looking positive, then I'm going to go and check it out. I'll wait long enough for it to to see that launch. If not, I may just check out the static fire, take some photos. There are people who do this stuff way better than I do anyway. So I'll take some photos, that sort of thing, bring that back, and I promise to bring back a lot of content no matter what happens. Okay, let's keep it up here. What do I think about the Venus Zeppelin? I think flying around on Venus using that method is definitely the best way to get around there. There's no question about that. The dust storms, interesting. Yeah, the dust storms might knock a blimp down. It might mess up the the technology on it. Yes, I picked up these glasses, Ryan, because it's a Houston thing. They've got the camo on them, so it's kind of like hunter sunglasses, even though obviously there's nothing about me that says hunter, but nevertheless, a surfing lesson. Wow, thanks, Warhawk. I do appreciate that. Don't leave Boca Chica without a visit to Veras Backyard Barbecue. Ooh, I love barbecue. Being living in South Carolina, we love barbecue. BT Huron, thank you so much for the super chat. In the Expanse TV series, Martians from the Valley have Texan accents. Do they now? That's an interesting thing. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay. The moons of Mars are more interesting than the planet. There are some cool things about the moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos. I think we definitely need to set something up on Phobos. There's a lot of very valuable resources there. Fuel at the very least, for any kind. I mean, for methalox, for liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, or the fuel for nuclear thermal. All of that is on Phobos, or rather the propellant for nuclear thermal, to be precise. That is definitely there. So yeah. Phobos is a cool place, and so is Deimos. Angry Astronaut, that instrument wasn't on Phobos Grunt probe, by the way, which brings up the question, what does NASA and the USA know about life on Mars, and what are they hiding? I think that here's what Dr. Levin told me. He says he doesn't think it's a conspiracy. He thinks that we want to send humans to Mars, but that it would be unpopular with the public if they know there's Martian germs waiting for us there. And so they would say, oh, what happens if they bring back a Martian plague, especially right after the COVID thing? So, that they might say, oh, what are we going to do? So, that could indeed happen. Wow, another super chat hit. Thank you so much, guys. Penelope, Boston's work. I am not familiar with her. Send me a DM or an email. It's on my channel, and I will have a look at that. Yeah, I might indeed have her as a guest. A crew interview that Texans are the largest number of early Mars settlers. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, the Titan mission would be fantastic. Titan, I think there's a lot of amazing things. Something. No, I'm not flat Earth believer, not in the least. So I'm not sure where you're getting your ideas, but no, I'm not. All right, let's see here. And any woman would tell you that. Okay, Soju says, what do I think about the new Russian-Chinese space project? Maybe put more pressure on Western projects. I hope it does. I hope it does, because the Chinese and the Russians are going after us big time. And when I say us, I'm talking the U.S., the Western Europe, the ESA, the Canadians, the Japanese, everybody else, basically. Russia and China is coming after us big time. Kiwi accents on Mars, except at least in the Martian Marines. That's true, isn't it? At least on the show. Boca Chica Girl Lab Padre. Yeah, I'm gonna send them another message to see whether or not they might be willing to help me out. You crack me up, flat earth believer. You really do. Okay. Let's see why it's and just so you know, I'm not looking right now. I'm not, for reasons that I'm not going to reveal. But I'm not looking right now. Okay, let's see. Do I think it's possible for NASA to choose not to choose the national team for the moon lander? You would think that they have to at least choose them for the second go around or something because of all those big companies involved. But it would be the stupidest thing in the world for them to do, beyond idiotic, with all the money they have to invest with every SLS that goes to the moon, that goes on the Artemis. They don't need a lander that requires a new transfer element and a new lander every time they use it. The only thing that's reusable is the ascent element. Do you know how much money that's going to cost? And on top of that, let's say somebody falls off that lander. Let's see it say, or the ladder rather. Let's say that there's an injury and they're trying desperately to haul somebody up that stupid ladder and they can't do it and somebody dies. Can you imagine NASA trying to answer the questions of the media as to why did you approve something like that in the first place? Why did you approve a lander that was that flawed? I mean, my God, it would be the stupidest decision in the world, but they might do it. They might do it just because of the companies involved. Dear God, I hope. Dear God, I hope they don't. Bugging the hell out of me, let me tell you. That's something that gets me ranting, no question. All right. Well, let's see. Boy, lots of stuff coming through. All right. Let's see what I should do in Boca Chica. Interview the people that are there, not just point yet another camera through. That's a good idea. Interview the folks who are there and see what they think about all this that's going on. That's an excellent idea. I like that. That would be unique. That would be neat. Unique indeed. Jeffrey LaPlante with a super chat. Thank you so much. Somebody just said goodbye from Sweden. I'm probably way behind on all these things. I've just been trying to read as many of them as I possibly can. Mars might not have the first beanstalk. They have horrible Chinese food in Texas. I'll have to keep that in mind. Oh dear Lord. Okay. We're about at the end of the stretch. So in any event, you guys have been fantastic. This has been wonderful. I can't wait to go to Boca. I can't wait to see what they've been doing there. Thank you so much for your support, for everything that you've done to help me, not only on this trip, but just help this channel achieve what it has. This is you guys' channel. It obviously wouldn't be here without you, without your support. You guys are fantastic, the best subscribers on YouTube, and I will always be so grateful to you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. This is a great community that we've got here of just wonderful people. So until I get to Boca and until I really get to see some unique and awesome stuff that I hope to bring back to all of you so all of you can enjoy it and make this trip worthwhile, I urge all of you to stay angry about space.